Good afternoon. We are here with your CyChron pregame.
Got me up all night. All I'm singing is love songs. She got me up all night. Constant drinking and love songs.
I'm Joel Lucero.
And I'm Ian Mays. And first off, we'd like to start off with the first round of playoffs, so the 4A Shasta State Championship. First round started off with Pine Creek and Golden. Pine Creek outstandingly beat Golden 34-0, advancing to the second round, as well as Rampart beating Monarch, Pueblo West beating Stanley Lake, Chatfield beating Skyline, and Vista Ridge beating Fruita Monument. Pueblo South beating Montrose, Loveland beating Ponderosa, Windsor beating Broomfield. As I think Vista Ridge pulled off an amazing upset, beating Fruita Monument 39-34. That was absolutely amazing watching the games film.
Those were all great. These teams came in, they put a lot of great effort in. But now we're going to go on to the quarterfinals, and I will be here to make the predictions of the week. So, for our first matchup, we got Pine Creek versus Rampart. I think Pine Creek, they're the defending champions. They're great. They're hard to beat, so I think that they're going to take that game. And then we have Pueblo West versus Chatfield, which is probably going to be the biggest matchup so far of the quarterfinals. These two teams are both two powerhouses. They have two great offenses. They have two great defenses. But I'm going to take Pueblo West on this one. And then we move on to Vista Ridge and South, Pueblo South. Pueblo South is just, they've been great. They rolled through Montrose, and I think that they're going to move on to the semifinals. And then we have Loveland, the 7th seed, and Broomfield, the 15th seed. I am going to take Broomfield, the 15th seed, on this one, just because of their last week performance, beating Windsor 31-0. They shut them out.
You're going to pull off an upset again?
Right there, upset right here, Broomfield and Loveland.
I also think that Vista Ridge might pull it off. I mean, Pueblo South has been putting up amazing stats and everything like that, but Vista Ridge may pull it off. I mean, they beat Fruita Monument, one of the most anticipated teams in the 4A bracket.
I still think that Pueblo South will pull that one off, though. They're tough to beat, and I see them possibly going to the state championship.
Do you? That's a bold statement right there.
Yeah, but I still think that Pueblo West and these other Pueblo schools could match them if they could get past Chatfield and Pine Creek, which is this side of the bracket seems to be extremely tough. But let's move on here. We'll go to Pueblo West offense against Chatfield defense.
What do you think? How do you think they've been doing this season?
What do you mean by that?
Like, how do you think they've been doing so far? Like, bringing up against Chatfield.
You know, I think they had a great week of practice when I got a chance to talk to defensive lineman Grant Guerra. And he said that he's prepared and he's ready to get after it. But, I mean, Pueblo West is just so tough. They have 50 rushing touchdowns. Pueblo West has just been great all year on offense. Last week scoring 49 points. They averaged 339.6 rushing yards per game, with 62 total touchdowns. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and Pueblo West's offense is just going to dominate with their 50 rushing touchdowns.
The rushing touchdowns from Pierre Taylor, and then also they have a running back, the name of Matthew Rudd. Rudd also carrying, as a sophomore, doing outstanding. Pierre Taylor also 199 carries on the season, 1597 total. That's crazy. He also has 8 yards per carry. That's almost a first down each time.
He's been an animal, and with Devin Morgan getting hurt, he's been just taking over the whole workload, and he's not
stopping there. Yeah.
They do only have 71 receiving yards per game, however, but when you have a running game like that, you don't really need to pass as much.
I also think that Jacob Wilkinson, as much as he doesn't pass, he still could carry it on and make it pass through defense.
Yeah, especially
quick cuts.
Especially with their options.
Oh, definitely.
He knows when to keep it and he knows when to take off.
Watching last week's game, they only had 2 mess-ups of Taylor bobbling the ball in his hands, but he still managed to get the first down. I thought the amount of concentration that they all have on their offense is absolutely amazing.
Then how do you feel about wide receiver Smyer Williams?
Oh, the man's an animal. Kick return, wide receiver. It's amazing. How do you think?
He's just so fast, it's hard for teams to stop him. He gets those jet sweeps, and he's able to take off.
On to Chatfield's defense. How do you think they're going to be doing so far?
The Chatfield's defense, I think they're stronger offensively, but they do have an okay defense. They have 13 interceptions on the year with 16 sacks. They're averaging 1.5 sacks per game, so they can get pressure, but I think that they're really an offensively powerhouse team, and I think Pueblo West is going to really dominate them on this side of the ball.
You have to stop their running game. For Chatfield to win this game, they need to stop Pueblo West's running game. They have to make Wilkinson pass the ball and pressure him, just as many as any other team should pressure Pueblo West at this point. They've been definitely dependent on the running game.
Going off of stat-wise, though, they haven't been proven to do that yet.
Onto personal stats for their defense. To stop Pueblo West, they're gonna have a struggle. I mean, they only have a season total of 16 sacks. That's something that you really can't do. I mean, also Pueblo West is running it more on the field. Going on to Chatfield's offense, how do you think they're gonna do?
Like I've said before, this is going to be a complete battle of the offenses. I mean, Chatfield scored 61 points last week against Skyline. 61. They're good offensively, and I think this is going to come down to who's going to win, is who gets stops on the other side of the ball on defense. And Pueblo West they got a lot of seniors to lead their defense, but so does Chatfield on their offense. I think that Chatfield might overpower a little bit for a high-scoring game.
Definitely, because also they have Ben Fournette averaging has 148 carries per on the season and 1,411 yards in total. He averages 11 yards per carry, and that's already a first down enough from there. Do you think that should be enough just to beat Pueblo West?
I think Pueblo West got to focus on stopping him. That he's an animal on the field.
Oh, definitely.
Pueblo West they need to lock in right there, and I'm sure Coach Pinkerton has put in a game plan against him.
Definitely. Such as their defensive line, they've actually done really well watching the game and broadcasting the game against Standing Lake. They stopped their run game easily.
Who would you say could be some game changers on the Pueblo West defense? Yeah.
Pueblo West defense, Grant Guerra, Ivan Gonzalez, no fly zone on their backfield on defense. It's just crazy. How about you?
I mean, let's just not forget about Jared Aragon.
Oh.
He was everywhere last week. You got strong safety Kyle Jamison who could come up and make hits, and you got two talented corners.
Smire Williams, Declusion,
Lasser, Gonzalez.
Oh, definitely. I think they could pull it off defensively if they could stop their run game make them pass more.
Yeah, if anybody has a chance here, I think it's Pueblo West.
I definitely think too. On to finalized picks for this game. Who do you think is going to win?
This is going to be a great game. I think this is probably going to be one of the best games, probably of the week, maybe of the whole year. I think, though, however, both teams have a lot of seniors, but I'm still going to take Pueblo West. I think they've been great all year. I think they have what it takes on defense. They have what it takes on offense. They're all around hard to beat, so I'm going to take Pueblo West.
Well, looking at the stats, both teams putting amazing points on the scoreboard for both teams, just to even show that much heart, that much intense, passion. But I also think that Pueblo West may pull it off. If they stop their run game, it's all over from there. They have to force the pass. And I think I'm just going to choose Pueblo West. I mean, advancing to the semifinals.
Their intensity last week, they bring it again this week. They're a great possibility they walk out with the win right here. I'm Julian Lucero.
And I'm EMA's.
And we'd like to thank you for tuning in.
See you at halftime.